Yo, 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 good morning, everybody. Welcome to TrendSpider Live. My name is Mike, and today, market just opened, and we're going to be taking a look at all of the earnings that reported this morning, including Johnson & Johnson, Halliburton, that's HAL. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we got so far in the morning session. If you guys are out there in the chat, let me know. Say what's up. Tell me where you're from. Tell me where you're watching from. And tell me what trades you guys are looking at taking for the day. As I just said, we're going to be looking at the pre-market earnings here real quick. So let's take a look at what JNJ did here this morning. As you can see, not really much since yesterday, but we can go ahead and take a look at the numbers, and we can actually go ahead and use Sidekick to analyze the numbers for us, because that is the easiest way to do it, is using AI. So we'll open up our Sidekick AI right up here. Let's see, make sure there's no custom prompt. It's going to stick in this prompt right here, 121. Basically, it just says, analyze the J&J earnings announcements today, gave it the date. It's going to give me the EPS versus the forecast versus the prior quarter, and we'll let it think for just a second here while we take a look at some of the action. And then we also had Schwab reporting earnings. As you can see, they are up a little bit in the pre-market session. Nothing crazy, though. Also had HAL, just Halliburton, also, up just a little bit. They're up since yesterday's close for sure. About 4%, which is pretty good. But let's go back to Johnson & Johnson and see what we got going on here in our Sidekick. It'll be done fetching it here in just a second, but let's take a look at the news desk right over here. Did report earnings, pre-market. So Johnson & Johnson sees, looks like we got an EPS beat and a sales beat. So it looks like we got a double beat, and then we also had some forward guidance right here. Looks like 1143 to 1163 versus 1145 estimate. So guidance looks like it was raised a little bit as well from what I am seeing, at least. So double beat, a little bit of a forward guidance raise. That's pretty good. Pretty nice. Let's take a look at the daily chart here. If we do look at the daily, you can see kind of a wild candle that printed today so far. And the daily opened up way down there around 210, and now we're sitting at 216, which is pretty nice, obviously due to the earnings. If we put on the pre-market and aftermarket data, you can see that candle does change a little bit right here. Has a much longer wick. Went all the way down. Yeah, it's basically the same, like 209.41. Basically, that's where it opened up in the morning. Let's go back to the 5-minute. Let's see how it opened without the pre-market. Yeah, so a little bit of a gap lower today on the 5, but instantly recovered all of it. Sidekick is being annoying. Let's send that prompt back in. Let's take a look at Schwab numbers as well right now while we wait. Let's see. It looks like the forward guidance for Schwab might have missed. Sales missed 6.33, missed the 6.36 estimate. Not ideal for them there. Let's see. Let's find the actual numbers here. Interesting. Didn't see the let's check out the reports tab for the numbers here. What I'm seeing, it looks like we had a double beat on Schwab, at least year over year. Quarter 425, I'm seeing 6.34 billion. In the EPS, I see 1.39, which is about a 1% surprise, but a 37% change from the prior quarter, which is pretty good. So it looks like a double beat on Schwab as well. And if you guys are out there in the chat, let me know what you guys are watching this morning. I was just looking at gold as well. Gold is gapping up on the daily. Once again, I mean, look at this gold chart, you guys. Absolutely insane. 2 consecutive gaps to the upside. Like, wow. Up 6% over the last couple of days. Absolutely insane. Meanwhile, TLT, the bond ETF, is just getting absolutely destroyed. Had a gap down yesterday. Oh my God. Well, let's see what else is moving the market. Let's see how semiconductors are doing today. Semiconductors are moving up slightly here. Let's see, MU, these have been the leaders. Yeah, MU, another strong day to the upside. SNDK, another all-time high. What else was there? WDC, let's take a look, another all-time high. And Netflix reported yesterday after the bell, and this is how they are looking. Gap to the downside right there. They did have a double beat on earnings, but yeah, obviously with all of the news surrounding Netflix and the merger with Warner Bros., I think there's just a lot of uncertainty. I was live with Tushar Shande yesterday talking about that. So that is what's going on Netflix. Let's see. But yeah, gold is just absolutely insane, guys. Take a look at silver as well today. Silver actually sort of underperforming gold today. Just a bit. I mean, yeah, it's actually slightly down on the day technically. And here's our JNJ earnings reports here from the good old Sidekick. So EPS, again, we saw came in at 2.46 versus 2.44 estimate. And look how much it beat the quarter 424 number by quite a bit. Pretty nice. Same here with revenue. Beat the estimate and significantly beat quarter 4's number. So very good, very good. And it looks like, yeah, slightly raised guidance. It looks like 0.7% above consensus and plus 1% above consensus for both EPS and revenue. So pretty good. Nothing insane, but nice. Expects $21 billion in free cash flow. Recent news highlights. Let's see. Stock trading lower. Yeah. Breast simulator app. Interesting for plastic surgeons. And then something, what is this? Tech Volley showing positive phase 3 results in blood cancer, extending survival versus standard treatments. That is pretty cool. Yeah, bull case, we're seeing strong 4 consecutive quarters. Good EPS growth. Obviously, we saw a nice double beat there. So overall, pretty good for Johnson & Johnson here. Look at their daily chart, even their weekly. You can see that they are essentially trading at all-time highs again. They started making their rally back in July of last year, so almost a year ago, and they've continued up ever since. I mean, just, yeah, I mean, it's pretty classic, like this trending chart right here. It starts the uptrend here, bases, breaks out, bases, breaks out, bases, breaks out, and it's just continually doing that. I mean, we got 1, 2, 3 bases already, so it's, I wouldn't say it's extended, but, you know, it's getting there. It's at all-time highs, but, you know, daily continues making those higher lows. So looking pretty good overall there for Johnson & Johnson. Let's see. And then let's also take a look at Schwab now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my Sidekick prompt right here. And I'm just going to start a new chat here in Sidekick to find the numbers. And Schwab, SCHW, just change the ticker out. This is a pretty nice prompt that I do like to use. It's going to give us all the stuff that we need to know for Schwab from their earnings in the pre-market. Give us their numbers, and we'll take a look at how they did. From a chart perspective, again, let's go like even to the monthly. Schwab is at all-time highs, within very close proximity of all-time highs. You can see had this prior resistance, this, you know, basically 2021 high that they just recently broke above. So it's been quite a while for Schwab reaching their highs like this. They've been, you know, declining, of course, on 2022, but steady growing after that 2022 decline. And ever since they finally broke out this resistance level, it looks like they finally have some room to run. They did end up putting up a base right there, almost like a cup and handle. If I'll draw it just a little bit for you guys. Draw this curve. Something like that. Handle, something like that. Something like that. And now they're breaking up out of it. Let Sidekick do its thing here. So we can see the numbers. But again, it was a double beat. Monthly, is this the monthly? Yeah, cup and handle breaking out. It's looking pretty good on Schwab. Looking pretty good. And Interactive Brokers reported as well yesterday. And they also did pretty well also. Having a double beat. Look at their daily chart. Yeah, you can see their EPS came in at 65 cents, beating expectations by 16%, growing 27% quarter over quarter. Revenue growing 18% quarter over quarter. They had $1.64 billion in revenue for Interactive Brokers. Let's compare that to Schwab. So Schwab is about like 6 times larger, 5-6 times larger than Interactive Brokers, the other broker who reported yesterday. And Sidekick is being funky today. That's annoying. But we'll keep prompting until it gives us an answer. Let's take a look at the top watch stocks here on StockTwits for the morning. We have Boyle. I haven't heard this name in a while. This is a natural gas ETF. Pretty interesting one here. Natural gas. Let's take a look at natural gas futures maybe. Wow, natural gas futures are absolutely ripping on the day. How much is that up? Is that 24%? Yeah, we're going to have to use Sidekick in a second to analyze what in the world is going on with natural gas futures. Let's open up UNG right here. What is going on, Bucks? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live. Let's take a look. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on UNG in the news feed, but I guarantee you there's something going on. Obviously, something going on. Let's take a look at oil prices. Oil is not doing anything super insane here. But yeah, natural gas. We got Boyle trending for whatever reason. I mean, how much is this? If natural gas futures are up 24%, wow, that's up 70% in the last 2 days. Boyle, absolutely insane. Let's take a look at what else we got here on the top watch stocks on StockTwits. You got DJT putting in a nice little base here, actually. JNJ, of course. This Newegg, N-E-G-G. Newegg is dying. This was kind of a meme stock. Oh, BlackRock saying that natural gas has to fuel AI short-term and nuclear long-term. Wow, that's a catalyst if I've ever heard one. Oil's the new dirty water. Yeah, crazy move there on natural gas futures this morning, you guys. I see. I appreciate that, Dory. Thank you. Let's see what else is going on in the markets today. Let's open up our stock market map here and take a look at the sector ETFs. What is leading the day? Obviously, we know that gold is probably going to be leading along with natural gas. Silver is actually leading the decline today. They're the worst performing sector on my sector watch list today, at least. We got real estate down a little bit. We actually got healthcare doing pretty good again today. That's good for me. Semiconductors up a little bit and energy up. And then right in the middle here, not really moving at all. We got bonds, tech, financials, consumer discretionary, consumer staples. But yeah, definitely healthcare, gold, energy, and semiconductors. Very kind of strange mix of stuff going up. I'm going to take a look at the semiconductor ETF right here. Just a second. Got these Schwab earnings in. So Schwab reported $1.39, and they were forecasted at $1.39. So no beat, but they met expectations. But significantly beat quarter 4 2024 EPS there. By the way, if you guys are just joining in, if you guys are your first TrendSpider Live, you guys can use the first link down below to get free trade ideas sent right to your inbox from the free TrendSpider weekly newsletter. So feel free to sign up down below using the link in the description. Let's take a look here. We also got a revenue miss actually on Schwab, but significantly beat last quarter. So they missed expectations by 0.03 billion, but beat last quarter by over $1 billion. No guidance available in the earnings reports. Assets hit record high at 11.9 trillion. Pretty nice there. So yeah, pretty not the greatest report for Schwab here. Let's take a look at the chart again in a second. But yeah, they're reacting honestly pretty well to it. They've been consolidating ever since like December of last year in this base right here. So yeah, record 11.9 trillion in assets, and trading volumes jumped 31%. Very nice. That's honestly really good. But yeah, their sales it seems to have missed the estimate. And then basically EPS is exactly how analysts forecasted. So that is that. Next thing I was going to do is put a watch list over here on my sidebar. And since we know which sectors are leading, which was, again, energy, XLV, which is healthcare, and semiconductors, looks like really which one's leading out of XLV and XLE. Wow, 2.52%. Yeah, it looks like XLE is leading the day significantly here. So let's take a look at XLE holdings, see what is leading the day for the XLE ETF. EXE, Expand Energy, yeah, and Halliburton, again, another stock that reported earnings this morning, is leading the energy sector, or one of the top stocks in the XLE ETF. Because of that, let's actually take a look at their earnings as well. I am going to copy this prompt into my clipboard, and we're going to do it for Halliburton. Let's Sidekick do some magic there, but yeah, HAL doing really good. DVN, Devon Energy, and again, likely due to that news that Dory was talking about. BlackRock was saying that natural gas has to fuel AI short term and then nuclear long term. Let's see what else we got in here. KMI, they have earnings coming up. It's today. Yeah, KMI has earnings today after the market. Dory says rare earth is strong. Trump's talk of scarcity and the need for Greenland as a driver. Interesting. Yeah, so energy absolutely popping off. And you can view the holdings of any ETF on TrendSpider by just adding a watch list and just typing in the, of course, ticker of that ETF if we have it, which we have a lot of them. Or you can just type in like energy. We have a lot of, different system lists for energy. S&P 500 energy, which is probably the same thing as this XLE one. Just doesn't rely on the ETF holdings themselves. Let's take a look at Halliburton earnings, HAL right here. They reported 69 cents versus 55 cents. So, pretty strong beat, but it looks like year over year, they're down a penny on the EPS. Revenue looks like they definitely beat, obviously, the estimate. And they also beat prior quarters, quarter 4, 2024 revenue as well. So yeah, double beat on the estimates, but just missed from EPS last quarter. Let's see. Oh, looks like North America outlook. So revenue expected to decline in the high single digits versus 2025. So not very good forward guidance here. Or that's at least for North America. Looks like international revenue up 7% in quarter 4, showing strength. So they're doing better in international revenue, which is interesting. But CEO seems to be not too down about it. He said they expect North America to be the first to respond when the macro fundamentals do improve, which is interesting. Okay. But they are doing incredibly well on the day, up, up about 5% on the day. And yeah, not at all-time highs, actually significantly lower than all-time highs. Take a look at the monthly chart right here. As you can see, This stock is kind of trading right in the middle of where it's been trading at forever, practically. I mean, the stock almost hasn't gone anywhere since like 1990. Like, if you bought this stock in 1997, you're up like $2 a share. So yeah, that is that. But it is having a nice little trend here, starting to pick up on the weekly and the daily. The daily looks pretty good. Continues to kind of gap up. This last earnings gapped up as well. So yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. And energy is leading the market today so far. I mean, the market just opened at 7 a.m. or 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for me. I'm not used to being live this early, but it's, got a lot of time in the market left to go. But let's see what else is leading. We got semiconductors, SMH. We'll take a look at the semiconductor ETF here. Intel up 8%. Intel absolutely ripping, breaking over another resistance level here from 2023 in December. Wow. Amazing move there. And of course, oh man, MU. You just cannot stop MU. I mean, look at this, you guys. Just look at this. Absolutely flying. AMD up even more, up 6%. Yeah, AMD has been hasn't really gone anywhere since this nice little gap up right here. I remember this gap up. I traded it. I forget what caused it, but we have not broken down below into that gap ever since. Let's see what is going on here. Yeah. What else? Marvell. Marvell's doing okay. NVIDIA, let's take a look at NVIDIA and the semiconductors. Of course, yesterday they did have a pretty nice gap down along with the overall market. TSM also, had it was a pretty nasty day overall for the entire market yesterday, you guys, if you guys were trading. But there's not a single stock in the SMH ETF that is even red on the day, which is pretty nice to see. Pretty nice to see. Explains why it is one of the leading sectors of the day. So yeah, we covered SMH and XLE. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, absolutely insane. Look at MU, you guys. Just keeps going up. STM, Marvell. Let's take a look at some other stuff that reported yesterday, like Netflix. So Netflix recovering a little bit, but nothing too crazy. I kind of want to ask Sidekick about this energy news. Let's see if I can grab a prompt. Let's say, or natural gas specifically. So I'm going to ask Sidekick here. I'm going to tell it that natural gas and energy, even though it already knows, is moving sharply, and to identify the single most important news or macro events. Reason why I'm doing this, because we're looking around and look at the NG1 gas futures. Wow. Natural gas is up 30% in just today. Since the last 2 days, natural gas is up 41%, you guys. With natural gas up 41% in the last 2 days, that is obviously the reason I sent this prompt in here to Sidekick to find out exactly what is going on. And I also found this move because I was looking at the top watch stocks on StockTwits, and Boyle was on there. Oh, maybe it's not anymore. Actually got removed ever since that. I was trying to show you guys the workflows here on TrendSpider that you can use on your day-to-day basis here at the market open. 1 second here, let me get it. Sipping my coffee, espresso. But yeah, so basically, guys, we saw Boyle in the top watched stocks on StockTwits. It's like, what is going on there? That is a natural gas stock. Then I looked at the natural gas futures, NG1 exclamation point. Saw that natural gas futures is up 42% in the last 2 days. And so I asked Sidekick, what in the world is going on? core story is that a polar vortex drives historic natural gas surge. So apparently there's an Arctic blast that triggered a demand shock and extreme polar vortex, bringing record cold across Northeast Asia, Europe, and the U.S. has sparked a massive 27% surge in natural gas prices to near 3.94, with UNG natural gas jumping 10% today alone. Wow, so that I was not expecting. A polar vortex sets natural gas on fire, spiking the prices as an Arctic cold slams the U.S. Insane. Looks like FCEL announced something. And so I also told it to analyze the key headlines and tell us the affected sectors and movers. Obviously, natural gas, UNG and Boyle, FCG, Broad Energy, XLE. We already saw XLE flying on the day. We got CEG and NRG. Let's take a look at NRG. That's a pretty big name. Not doing anything too insane. Natural gas producers. Let's take a look at EQT here. Been seeing this name a little bit. Yeah, so EQT is up on the day. WMB. Yeah, but yeah, guys. I don't know if you guys trade natural gas futures, but if you do and you went long today, congratulations, because you just absolutely printed some money, it looks like. Nice stuff there. What else do we got here? UAL reported earnings yesterday as well. Let's take a look at UAL. Yeah, pretty indecisive candle here. It's potentially going to be printing a doji. See what else we got. We got Firm. Again, these are the top watch stocks on StockTwits. Did have a trend line drawn right there. Oh, CRVS. No idea what that is. A TMC, the metals company, pulling up right there. We got SoFi on the top watch stocks on StockTwits here. SoFi's earnings coming up in about a week or so on January 30th. So that is one to keep in mind as it continues to chop around in this, $25 to $30 range. NBIS. Not doing a whole lot. We got this nice trend line drawn here on Apple, along as it breaks through this crucial pivot level here. Go back to the daily. And kind of interesting, guys, if you guys didn't notice, this line is a little bit curved. The reason for that is because it was probably drawn in log scale. So to enter log scale on TrendSpider, you can actually click on the button right up here. If you're in linear scale, you just click it and it turns to log scale. So that's a quick way to turn from linear to log scale on the TrendSpider platform. A lot of the time I use the log scale because it kind of makes everything, it's just a little bit better, I think, for technical analysis, depending on the situation. But yeah, and if you guys wanted to know, if you guys didn't know, you can actually draw a trend line on TrendSpider just using this feature over here. The segment is one way. You just click on it over there at the top left on the toolbar, click down here, and then you can obviously drag it up all the way. Here, let me get a little bit more room on my chart here so I can click. So yeah, to draw a trend line on the TrendSpider platform, you can just click on any of these tools over here, either the ruler, segment, or the line. Yes, the top one is the trend line right here. So you just click right here, and then it automatically extends all the way for you so you can kind of see. Then you just click one more time, and there you go. There's your trend line. And again, if I switch back to the linear scale, it will look a little bit curved, which is kind of funny. So that if you ever see that, that is the reason why. Let's see what else we got here. This is the semiconductor ETF holdings. And again, every single name in the semiconductor ETF, SMH, is trading up on the day. Notably, Intel up 10%. Let's take a look at what is going on with Intel today. Of course, going to ask our good old trusty sidekick. What is going on for Intel today as it is up 10%? It could just be the momentum. But yeah, Intel up 10%. That's not something you see. Well, I guess you've seen it a couple times over the last few weeks for sure, ever since the government buyout news, or not buyout, but investment news. Oh, they have earnings up coming up. When is earnings? Tomorrow, post-market. Yeah, I'll be live for tomorrow's Intel earnings as well. You guys are out there. If you guys just joining in, welcome to TrendSpider Live. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future lives, because they're going to be going live again tomorrow. As you can see, I have my good old chats indicator here at the bottom. And then, of course, with Intel up this much, the chats indicator is absolutely popping up. It looks like it's sitting at 100, a perfect score of 100 on Intel, which means it is trending incredibly nicely. And you can, it doesn't take an indicator to know that this stock is trending nicely. I mean, look at the chart of it. Take a look at something. FIG Figma. This is something that I've been watching out. The TrendSpider team has been watching. Figma continues to decline, but I think it will definitely be a good investment at some point. Only down 80% so far, but this one will probably turn around eventually. How are their earnings on Figma? $249 million for quarter 2 of 2025. When is this set for? Earnings set for March 3rd, so you got a couple months for that. Really? I feel like, yeah, so November to March. Yeah, it's kind of long, but all right, let's see. Let's go back to Intel. So as you guys can see in the semiconductor ETF list, Intel is leading up 9% on the day. So I went ahead and asked Sidekick what is going on. And the core story is that basically multiple analyst upgrades drove Intel sharply higher on Monday, which is yesterday, with the stock continuing momentum into today's session, up 9% from yesterday's close. So basically, analyst buy ratings is the thing driving Intel. You see all of these key headlines here with multiple analyst firms raising their price targets, related movers, of course, all of the other semiconductor stocks. And if we take a look at the chart right here, you can see, let's take a look at the 5-minute. You can see it was a nice little gap up here on the 5-minute chart from yesterday's close, and it is currently up again over 9% on the day. So analyst upgrades. And if you guys wanted to take a look at what's happening now, you can open what's happening now at the bottom here. And I'm going to add a feed with the, where is it? We have a news featuring price targets, which is good as well. Might actually use that one as well, but all analyst estimates is what I'm looking for. So open what's happening now, click on new feed and all analyst estimates. I'm going to apply a filter to a symbol that contains Intel or INTC or equals. Yeah, on the 16th, we got Jeffries, few upgrades here in the past. And then another really useful feed that can catch stuff as well is the news featuring price target upgrades. Add a symbol filter to this as well. Go INTC. Yesterday got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 analyst upgrades on Intel from the news. So as you can see, that is clearly what is driving the stock move. Pretty nice. And we also have the analyst estimates indicator. So you can just go ahead and type in analyst estimates history. It is on the TrendSpider store. I can leave a link down below in the chat. But this essentially plots the analyst price targets directly on your chart. The highest price target is right up here around 60. The lowest price target is down here around 24. And the median is about 41. So it's actually trading closer to the higher end of its analyst price targets. Let me open up that what's happening now again. Let me just actually, okay, here we go. $30 price target, $65 price target, raises to 50 to 45. I mean, what is this thing trading at? So these price targets, yeah, they're like mostly under what the stock is trading at. It's like they're like raising the price targets, but it's not anything that's like insane. Like, looks like this one, Seaport Global upgrades Intel to buy and announces a $65 price target, which seems to be the highest one, but most of them are like 45, 50, which is actually below what the stock is currently trading at, which is interesting. So analysts are, giving price targets lower than what Intel is even actually trading at. But it's up 10% on the day, so can't complain if you're owning Intel. Take out the relative performance along with the chats indicator. It's at 98, so Intel is outperforming 98% of the S&P 500 on an annual basis. Chats indicator is super high, basically at 100, showing absolute strength, not compared to itself, I should say. But if you guys are out there in the chat, you guys have any questions about anything going on in the market, you want me to use the platform to analyze it for you, let me know in the chats below. And I can go ahead and answer that for you. I don't think there's going to be, or I don't know, is there a JNJ earnings call going on right now? This is my first time actually doing a morning earning, like a pre-market earnings live. So let's take a look. I'm not sure when they normally do these. It looks like, yeah, the Elliott had the earnings call at 8:30 Eastern, which was a while ago, before the market even opened. But at least we got to throw everything in Sidekick and see everything that was going on after. Wow, and Intel up over 10% now. It just continues to fly on the day. You guys are out there in the chat. Let me know what y'all are trading today. Yeah, hopefully you got some semiconductor exposure here, because the trend is most definitely not over in the semiconductor space, you guys. I mean, look at this. SMH is absolutely, well, SMH itself is up how much today? Open to close like 1%, 2% since yesterday's close. So up pretty good, but oh my God, MU. Congratulations if you guys are still hanging on to MU or got back in. How's SNDK doing? SNDK, I will take it. It's doing pretty good. And then healthcare is up today. I didn't look at the healthcare stocks. Let's take a look at XLV real quick. Moderna is leading healthcare. Wow, Moderna up 7% on the day. Look at that chart of Moderna. Look at this weekly. Let's put on the monthly, actually. Trying to make a comeback here in Moderna. VTRS, not too bad. UNH, I mean, still hanging in there. Still hanging in there. Who out there is still holding UNH from this whole thing? It's like trading right at the mean, right at the midpoint of where it's been trading. But it's doing all right. The chats index is actually kind of rising. It was above 70 for a little bit right here. So it's not been too bad. I'm going to find the strongest names in the UNH ETF real quick. I'm going to do RP greater than 90. Oops, greater than 90, and 100-day rate of change greater than 30. So what I did is I opened the market scanner and I typed relative performance greater than 90, which means it's outperforming 90% of the S&P 500. And then I put 100-day rate of change greater than 30. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to type in XLV. And I'm going to set this scanner inside of the healthcare ETF, and it's going to show me the strongest names, which is Moderna. You see the chats is basically at 100. We got CAH, Cardinal Health, and CRL. So not names that I would have thought would have popped up, or at least not like the big names in healthcare, but that is the strongest names momentum-wise in the XLV ETF, which is the healthcare ETF, of course. TMO has been hanging in there, really been basing up for quite a while here. Let's take a look at the XLV ETF chart itself. So yeah, it was trending really nicely over the ever since like November of 2025, though. It's been a little bit flat, had a nice breakout here, but gave it all back and tested the support, and now it's trying to make a comeback once again. Take a look at some names. I know Regeneron. What else is it? ILMN, or is it IDXX? Yeah, ILMN is looking pretty similar to this healthcare ETF. Nice power gap. Chats has been over 70 for quite a while now, all on this uptrend, so that's good. CVS has been, wow, that's a tight base, you guys, and the chats is getting up there. So this has a breakout. That could be a nice one to look out for. CVS, look at that. That thing is very tight consolidation on CVS right there. Yeah, you guys been live for a little bit over 40 minutes now. If you guys have any questions about anything, let me know down in the chats below. Otherwise, might call it. I think that was a good analysis of the market here in the morning. Looked at all the sectors that were leading. Maybe we can look at the sectors that are not leading, that are leading the decline. Silver all the way down there, and then real estate and consumer staples and utilities. So it looks like a very weird mix there. We got utilities and XLP down, which are, of course, risk off sectors, or the safe sectors, if you will. I'm sorry, I'm reading this. Yeah, XLP is down. XLU is actually slightly up. Bonds is pretty much flat. But it's interesting that consumer staples are down today. Meanwhile, we got, gold gapping up. Yeah, I mean, the market is just all over the place these days, you guys. It is definitely a stock picker's market. Got to be following the trends of where the money is flowing. Right now, I mean, it's still in semiconductors, most definitely. Healthcare is getting a little action lately as well. I was just talking with Tushar Shande yesterday. Like semiconductors like MU, some of these strongest names like MU, SNDK, those like the top names. Kind of tech or semiconductor space. And then, yeah, he was also watching, the metals, gold and silver. I mean, clearly, as a trend follower, I mean, why would you not be watching something like this? I mean, trend is absolutely phenomenal on both gold and silver. After these breakouts, I mean, it just has not looked back for a single second. Taking a look at the mining companies like CDE, HL. HL has been doing very nice here. See the chats pretty much at 100 for quite a while at this point. What else do we got? HOLX, I remember this one. Oh, looks like there's a buyout for HOLX. ISRG, interesting that this stock has been taking a breather. They had a massive gap up on earnings, and they have earnings coming up shortly. So we'll see if they're actually testing. Look at this. ISRG is testing this massive gap here on the daily chart here pretty soon. As we come into earnings, that will be a good one to watch because their earnings are on tomorrow. Yeah, I will be live for their earnings tomorrow as well. So stick around if you guys have not already. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the like button as well, so you guys can join us again tomorrow. Again, we have ISRG, Intel, and Capital One COF earnings tomorrow, starting at 3:45 p.m. Eastern. So that should be a fun one for us to watch together. Hey, guys, other than that, I think we're going to call it there. Thank you guys for showing up to this live, whoever is out there. Again, make sure to subscribe and like, and join us again tomorrow for tomorrow's earnings live for Intel, ISRG, and we'll see you next time. Peace.